And sources close to this case tell me that this is some of the most horrifying footage they have seen in their careers. Police haven't said if the victim knew the killer, but they're hoping that a neighbor's video leads to a quick conviction and justice for his family. Only on 13, deeply disturbing and shocking video of a murder in broad daylight. On May 3rd, the victim, Stephen Anderson, is walking on Woodridge Square Drive to pick up his mail, sources tell us. He turns around at the sound of a screeching car speeding right into him.
Show your face! Show your face, please! With sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines, but we'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, today we got a crazy story where a 20-year-old man that identifies as a woman took the life of an elder man in his mid-60s. Not only did this young man take his life, it's the way he did it in broad daylight that has everybody questioning what really happened. Neighbors were outside at the tail end of the situation and witnessed 20-year-old Karon Fisher stab the 64-year-old man 9 times after he ran him over in a white Dodge Charger. And before stabbing the man, he kissed the man's battered body while he was laying there on the floor, helpless. This sounds like something straight out of a Netflix movie, and if someone told me it happened, I wouldn't have believed them if I didn't see it for myself. This is because everything was caught on Ring camera by a nearby home in the area that everything took place in. Now, I can't show the video on here due to YouTube and their guidelines, but it's surfacing all over social media now, and I'm sure you could find it if you look for it. There's no evidence of the two having a relationship of any sort, whether friendship or intimate. However, most people are stuck wondering why or how can Karon do such a thing to an older man, and what was the motive? It's one thing to run him over, but it's another thing to then kiss his body and then proceed to stab him 9 times after. This will leave many to feel that this was a crime of passion or have some sort of connection to it because the stabbing and kissing makes it seem personal. However, there's no evidence of any relationship between the two, and keep in mind that Stephen was said to be married as well. But witnesses in the neighborhood says that prior to the day Karon took Stephen's life, Karon was already in the neighborhood prior, displaying disturbing behavior, and can be seen around Stephen's house and looked to have some sort of mental health issues even then. So even though we don't know if these two had a relationship, clearly there's something going on if he's around Stephen's house prior to the incident. The only question is, what is it? Now let's get into what actually took place the day Stephen lost his life, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you aren't subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. 64-year-old Stephen Anderson had been living in Houston for a long time and was active in his community. Also known to be a positive person, Stephen was said to be married and had kids of his own as well as grandkids. He had worked at USPS for some time and was very well loved amongst his peers. Now, Karon Fisher was a total opposite. Karon was born and raised in Houston, Texas, but not much is known aside from his arrest record that shows a lengthy criminal history with charges that include assaulting a medical staff member the same exact day he took the life of Stephen Anderson. In 2021, he faced charges for prostitution, but they were later dismissed due to lack of evidence. In 2023, he was charged with evading arrest, which he was given 5 years of community supervision for. It looks like instead of supervision, Karon should have been locked up because maybe that would have saved the life from being taken at the hands of Karon on May 3rd, 2024. There's not much detail surrounding what actually happened as far as the motive, but all we have to go off is a video that was captured on a Ring camera showing the last fatal moments of Steven Anderson. Steven was on his routine walk to pick up his mail from his mailbox on Woodridge Square Drive when video shows him looking back as he walked and heard tires screeching. Those tires would be from a white Dodge Charger driven by Karon Fisher, who would strike Steven from behind with the vehicle intentionally, running him over as Steve barely had time to react. Karon would then reverse the car while Steven is laid on the floor, running over his body for a second time. The commotion would bring neighbors out their house as they came to see what was going on and rushed to the aid of the 64-year-old neighbor that they recognized. A lady in the video could be seen bringing a pillow out of her house to assist Steven, as another male neighbor was on the phone presumably calling for medical help. But to their surprise, the attack was far from over, because Karon would return to the scene and the video showed him appearing, but this time he had a knife in his hand. Neighbors will watch and plead for Karon to leave Steven alone, but in total disregard, Karon went on top of Steven, gave him a kiss on his forehead, and then proceeded to stab him 9 times in his torso. After everything unfolded, Karon tried to get into another car that was nearby, but once he was denied, he casually ran away from the scene, jumping over Steven's lifeless body as if he wasn't the one that just took his life. When police and medics made it to the scene, Steven Anderson was already pronounced deceased. Karon Fisher got away from the scene, but not for long. After witnesses pointed out where Karon fled to, Karon was quickly captured and arrested thanks to the video and other evidence. He's facing M charges and is being held on a $2 million bond. Now, this was a crazy story because it's still a mystery as to how or what was the connection between Steven and Karon. Steven is 64 years old and married, and Karon is 20 years old. Now, I'm not here to make any assumptions, but they did say that this couldn't be a random act of violence because neighbors recall seeing Karon around Steven's residence before, and they did seem to have some sort of commotion going on between the two. Keep in mind, reports said that Karon was locked up in 2021 for prostitution before, but the only reason he got off the hook is due to lack of evidence. So it's clear that prostitution is something that is familiar with him. So can that be the connection between Steven and Karon? The stabbing and kissing to me made this incident a little bit more personal in the sense of maybe a crime of passion, because everything just seemed personal. So could it be maybe it was a deal that went wrong between the two? Or maybe they both got into an argument before we seen Steven in the camera and things got out of hand and he turned his back to go get his mail? Or was somebody owed money and refused to pay? What was it? Right? Because if somebody is doing a crime, I doubt they're going to kiss the body. I doubt, they're going to stab them after they already ran them over twice with a vehicle. This seems a little more personal, but I'm going to leave that up to y'all to judge. Now, reports said that Steven was married. I'm unsure where his wife is. We didn't get no statement from the wife, so I don't know how she's feeling. Maybe she knows about Karon. They said he had kids. Maybe their kids know about Karon, or maybe they don't. Maybe he was living a double life. I don't know. Anything is possible. Now, I guess as of right now, we're going to have to wait until more reports come out. And the only time we'll know something is if Karon actually speaks up and says why he did what he did. If he shows that there was a connection between the two, then there was a connection. But as of right now, nobody knows what's going on. All we see is Karon in a white Charger running Steven Anderson over, and that's pretty much it. All right, I guess we'll just have to wait to hear more details in regards to the situation. As of right now, no motive is clear, but when more reports come out, I will keep you guys updated because this actually is interesting. Some people feel that maybe Steven was living a double life that nobody knew of. Who knows? All right. In the meantime, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think Steven and Karon had a personal relationship with each other? Or do y'all just think it was a random act due to Karon's mental state? Let us know in the comments. Rest in peace to Steven Anderson, and my condolences go out to his family. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.